Welcome back to Judah or Moab or wherever we are. Seems like we have to burn some Moabite camps. Sounds like fun. Ooh, and here's one of these things.
The Bible is not clear in which order David defeated the countries surrounding Israel. For story purposes, we have placed Moab as next in order after Edom.
Maybe he defeated them at the same time, actually.
We must destroy these camps.
Like, he just used his, like, nuke or something, like the Ark of the Covenant. It's just really like some advanced nuke control device, and then it's like, ba-dum, ba-dum. That must be how it happened. I'm not sure if he had the Ark of the Covenant, but I think so. Probably. Ford the river. Bitch. Anyway, Fidel Castro, the dictator of Cuba, he died a couple of days ago, a few days ago. I don't know, it's just interesting looking at how different people in the media react to it, because like unsurprisingly all of the lefties, which includes still most people in leadership in Western countries, they were like, oh no, it's such a horrible tragedy. Well, like, you know, or at least like expressing their condolences and, oh, Fidel Castro was such a great man, and you know, he was a dictator and who apparently killed some of his own people back in the day. But then again, like, well, communism is a horrible abomination against like sanity and decency. But at least as far as communists go, or communist countries, I think Cuba is one of the, well, is one of the most decent ones, that at least is not like a, according to what I understand, is not like a completely horrible place to live. And of course it has survived this far, whereas most communist countries fell, you know, at least 20 years ago or whatever. Well, why is there a camel here? But yeah, like the communists are just, I don't know, it's just good. I think that the communists are admitting that they basically, they say like, we only like Castro because he was a communist, even though he doesn't. Like, I've seen few different people point out how he was anti-gay, how he put gays, homosexuals into work camps and stuff like that, because he saw it as bourgeoisie, like decadence or whatever. And I'm inclined to agree with him. I'm not saying that we should necessarily put homosexuals into work camps or anything like that, but it's certainly, I agree with him on homosexuality, like just on the nature of homosexuality. What's this? It's like some magic fish that spawn out of the spirit world, that, and then they disappear. They go into the underworld through the rock. So profound. But yeah, the plenty of the like anti-SJW people, they seem sort of butthurt to see that the that devil SJ, but yeah, SJWs, they are calling him whatever, great man or hero, whatever words they used. But it's just like, yeah, of course they think he was a great guy. He was a communist, and he was like a, even though he wasn't progressive in the sense that we understand him for one example being his disapproval of homosexuality, but like if you see this communist plan that has been, this internationalist communist plan that has been going on for over 100 years, it's just like one attempt at, like, you know, finalizing the product. And so yeah, of course they praise Castro, because like in the 60s or whenever he persecuted the homosexuals, like back then it wasn't, you know, being pro-gay wasn't so mainstream as it is nowadays. Like it's one of the most important tenets of the religion of this, you know, communists, that oh, homosexuality is the best thing ever. Ugh, the best thing ever. I'm not so good at imitating homosexuals because I'm such a fucking macho man. But anyways, can we go through here? No, there's a rock. Okay, can we? I don't want to go to the river. I might get stuck. It seems just the kind of place that, like, oh, you're stuck. Fuck you. Boom. Kick your ass. But yeah, it's not like one of the... It shouldn't surprise anybody that these communists openly praise this dead communist who managed to keep his communist country together for, like, well, until today. Even though, like, official communism is more or less dead. But of course factual communism is going strong in the West. Ooh.
David's great-grandmother Ruth was from Moab.
Really? So David was actually a Moabite bitch. Nashon begat Salma, and Salma begat Boaz. It's Joachim and Boaz, like the two pillars of Freemasonry that supposedly separate the spiritual world from the physical world or something like that. Joachim or Joachim, or I don't know how to say it.
Onward! Time to dull this blade a little, don't you think?
This seems... yeah. No, wait. Actually, it's less damage. Yeah. Okay.
Time to do the Lord's bid.
I thought you'd never ask. Onward!
Ooh.
Time to shine!
Time to eat shit.
Onward! Finally! Time.
Let's crack some. Let's go. Now's the moment.
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, the anti-sjws, I think it's that they're making this, pointing out the hypocrisy, or I don't know if it's hypocrisy, but just pointing out the communist nature of these world leaders, because, well, they get more views like that way, and I don't know, maybe that's why I'm talking about Fidel Castro now too. Whoa. But yeah, it's like, at least like a... Hey, my character is stuck, what the fuck? It was stuck, like, I think it was stuck between those enemies or something. Whoa. Clobbering time. Hey, and Sparta time. Sparta time across the USA. Blah, 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 blah. He flew like a little bitch. Okay, is this guy back? Maybe I'm boring. since I mostly use this character, unless when he dies, like. But so be it. Let's see what crap I got.
Time to shine for the glory of the Lord.
This seems better. This suit burns better.
Time to shine.
Onward. Time to
But
dull
yeah,
this
still like
Spear is hungry.
all things considered, I don't think that
Time to do the Lord's bidding.
Fidel Castro was that bad. Like, of course he was a communist dictator, so that's not a good thing, but in the grand scheme of things, I think there have been many more evil people, whether it's Bush or Obama or whoever like controls them. Guess there's nothing in this level. Like, yeah, just look at all of the evil stuff. Like, I don't know, some people, they just like to get hurt over like small places like Cuba, North Korea, Iran. Like, they don't wield much power in the world, but then they more or less ignore like America and Israel or Britain and all of the evil stuff they've done, and they're the ones that, at least for the last couple of hundred years, they have wielded the most power, whereas like these small dictatorial countries, like, they might not be ideal, or they are not, you know, very these pleasant places to live, but yeah, I don't know, it's just easier to like criticize the little guy, and it's easy to point out like, oh, look how Fidel Castro killed these people, than to, I don't know, point out all the shit that the United States has done, and whoever the president, like, since the, you know, CIA has started all sorts of revolutions and co-opted like democratically elected governments and all of this shit. It's not to defend Fidel Castro, like, I guess, like, just to say like, yeah, he was a bad guy, but I don't know, among like the menagerie or the gallery of bad guys, he wasn't like that strong. I think he was like a, you know, minor dictator. And at least, like, you know, he did this stuff in the 60s. At least I am not an expert, but like all of this, when he executed people or counter-revolutionaries, like, has he done it, you know, since the, I don't know, 90s or whatever? Like, has he acted like a real, like a despot? And yeah, he was a communist, so I don't want to say too much good about him, but like, I guess I'm just annoyed by people who just see this. Like, now because of Trump, people seem to be even more fall into this left-wing paradigm bullshit. And yeah, communism is bad, but doesn't mean that the democracy or capitalism is that good either, because it's still, I don't know, same modern bullshit that takes you away from reality and basically all that.